Welcome to the lair of the Batty Boffin.
Hi there Batty fans, welcome back to another Batty Boffin maths video all about multiplying. Now in the last video about this we drew some rectangles that were kind of about the same size as the things we were trying to multiply. One number along the top, one number down the side. We did actually work out you didn't actually have to make them the right size provided you just wrote the dimensions on them. And so we're going to have a quick reminder of that now. Up here we're going to do 84 times by 35 and we're going to imagine that this rectangle here is 84 wide. There's the 80 and there's the 84. Now I know I've actually drawn those two blocks the same size, but that's just because I can write the numbers in them easily. The blocks don't actually have to be 80 wide and 4 wide, you don't have to do it to scale. So 84 wide and 35 high. So there's my 30 and there's my 5. And what we're going to do now is just say that the size of that whole square there is the size of the 4 bits multiplied together. So if that bit, let's do this one here, if that bit is 4 and that bit is 5, then the area of that in the middle would be 20. 4 wide by 5 high. This one here, if it's 4 wide and 30 high, 4 times 30, well that's the same as 4 times 3 with an extra naught on the end. What about this one down here? It's 5 high by 80 wide. 5 times 80. Well, let's do 5 times 8. 5 times 8 is 40. And don't forget the extra naught on the end. And then the top left-hand one, 30 times 80. Now, let's knock off those 2 noughts there and then put them back again. So we're going to do 3 times 8. 3 times 8 is 24. And then we've got to put that naught back on and that naught back on. So those are the answers for the 4 little bits. That's 80 times 30, 4 times 30, 80 times 5 and 4 times 5. So when we add those up we'll get the bit we want. So we've got to do 2,400 plus 400 plus 120 plus 20. It's usually a good idea to start with the bigger numbers and work down. Helps keep your columns in order. And those things are zeros, not sixes. There we go. So adding that lot up, we've got a 0 there, a 4, 9, 2. 2,940. Hopefully that looks familiar to you. If it doesn't, go back and watch one of the earlier videos where I explain how we're using that. This is sometimes called the grid method. That's because we've got a grid there. By the way, write your numbers on the outside of the grid, the 80 and the 4, the 30 and the 5, and your answers on the inside of the grid. Don't be tempted to put extra squares around here. Some people do that and it looks very nice, but when people do that they start adding up not just these 4 numbers, they start adding up those ones as well. Those are the titles, they're the question, not the answer. So we're only adding up the bits in the middle. Now that is 2-digit times 2-digit. Of course it works with bigger ones as well, like this. So this is the first thing for you to do. I'd like you to pause the video and just fill in the numbers that go here. That's your 3-digit number, and here. So pause the video and do that now, please. Welcome back. Hopefully you should have this. 123, 37. By the way, please do write out things like 120, not just a 1 and a 2 and a 0. Because if you write a 1 there instead of a 100, you'll be tempted to do 1 times 3 and write 3 there. And although it starts with a 3, we do need the extra zeros, so please write out 130 rather than just the 1 and the 3. So now it's time to fill some of them in for you. I'm going to do the hard one. Ooh, 3 times 21. Okay, you pause the video, fill in all the rest of them. Watch the zeros for that. Welcome back. For the other ones. This one, we've got 3 times 30. 3 3s are 9, with an extra 0 on the end. Then here we're doing 20 times things. 20 times 30, well that's 2 times 3, which is 6, with an extra 0 for the 20, and an extra 0 for the 30. And then down here, 20 times 7, well 2 times 7 is 14, with an extra 0 because it was actually 20, not 2. And then down here, 100 times things. Well, I'll do the 100 times the 7 first because that's dead easy. That's 700. And then 100 times 30. 1 times 3 is 3, plus an extra naught because it was actually 30, and 2 extra noughts because it was 100. Hope you got 3,000 there. So when we come to add those up, we get 3,000, 700, 600, there's a lot to add up in these, 140, 90 and 21. Okay, pause the video and add them up please. Welcome back. Hopefully you got the same as me. I got 4551. There's going to be another one of things for you to have a go at, so pop back in just a minute and I'll have a new board for you. Right, ready to go again. So I've got 3 grids here for you to do and 3 multiplies. We've got a 2-digit times 2-digit, 2-digit to go here and 3 digits to go down the side, or you can do it the other way around if you like. 3 digits to go across the top and 2 digits down the side, doesn't matter which way you do them. So the first thing you're going to need to do is to split them up, 60 and 2, 30 and 7. Doesn't matter if you put the numbers on the left or the right, it's entirely up to you. Same with all the others. Fill in the numbers in the boxes and add them all up, see what you get. So pause the video and time for some brain work for you. Welcome back. Hope your brain's not too tired after all that. Here's what we should have. For the first one, we should have a 1,800, a 60, 420, hope you know your 7 times table there, and 14. Total 2294. Well done if you got that. Second one, we have a 6,000, make sure you got enough zeros in there, 900, 200, 30, 115. Total when you add them all together, 7245. Hope you got that one. And the last one, big one. We should have in the first column 32,000, 32000. 4 8s are 32, plus an extra 0 because it was an 80, and 2 extra zeros because it was a 400. 32000. Make sure you've got all of them there. Going along the top line, so 32000. 800, 160 on the second row, 1,236. And when you add that lot up together, you get 34,196. 34196. If you got all of those, totally fabulous. Go on to the next video and I'll show you some more fun things to do. If you didn't, have a look at these, try and find out which bits you went wrong on. Sometimes people go wrong by adding them up, they get all the numbers right, but the columns kind of go wobbly. So if that's a problem you have, try drawing lines between the columns or spread them out a bit. Sometimes people try to write these numbers really, really small and then they get crumpled. So if you have problems there, spread out your numbers. Sometimes people have problems with these with getting the wrong number of noughts, so just check that out. For example, 300 times 20. 3 times 2 is 6. Plus an extra 0 because it was 20, not 2, and 2 more zeros because it was 300, not 3. So that gives you a 6 and 3 extra zeros. Check those lot out if you had any problems and nip back and look at some of the earlier videos, and if you didn't, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now, Batty fans.
Mwahaha! Mwahaha! Mwahaha!